Hey everybody, I'm back. You got the Wicked Lady Hippie, and we are at home at my bar, meaning everything goes. Those of you who don't know me, a little background: Army veteran, published author, mother of one, grandmother of two. One is also an Army veteran. I had my birthday yesterday, and we're still talking about 50, which is scary enough. Thank you. I'm going to throw in some live chat up here, so feel free to unload. Those of you who know me, I'm ready. Tomorrow is my husband's birthday. It's also our anniversary of, well, way too many decades. So I always picture with these glasses when I get up here, they're like crooked, and it bugs me, of course. So I haven't been on for the last week because I've been doing the birthday anniversary thing because all of this hits us at the same time. We try to do it all in one weekend. But my only child, my beloved son, instead decided he would cook me my favorite carne asadas. San Antonio, we love Taco Cabana, and they have the greatest carne asadas, which is roast beef and gravy and a tortilla. And we love their breakfast tacos. We ate there a lot. I was still running with, college and one or two jobs. And, they didn't give me free fucking college. It says no kids, just so you know. The Army pops up every once in a while. I mean, see if I can't keep from cutting my head off there. And I'm about to bang my nose on my microphone. I wear all the hats here. I did not say I wore them well, but I do. So I get up here, I try to at least twice a week. And I love being up here. People ask me how I do that. I think it's just the neatest thing since air conditioning. Now they're really quick. At like 40 pair. And I got to call in and make a new appointment, which is not making me any happier. I think that's making it worse. Yeah. There we go. Just a little bit. Let me see if I can see them this way. Every open door. They're going to be mad at me because there's music behind this. And I can't forget to turn that down. Okay, we'll just, all right, maybe if you go under further. Nope, nothing works. Okay, we're close enough. I better turn this down though, because for some reason, you can do this if you're throwing a movie up, you do not take out the voices of the actors. Most people have some kind of music or something in the background. They seem okay with that. I'm getting it off YouTube, which is what I'm broadcasting. So you would, come say, come on. Forgive me. Like I said, it's been one hectic week getting all of that done. And I still sound like I'm a tin can. Here we go. Sound a little better? I think we'll back off on some of that. At any event, so I've managed to get the anniversary cake done. The birthday presents for him already done. And he's still humming and hawing. I got several things already from him. I have 3 dozen roses back there that was also part of my birthday. It's a nice way to kick it off. He makes sure every year he gives me the yellow rose of Texas, because when he met me, I was from Texas, as far as he could gather. Although I've been all over the world, he didn't quite know that. He just knew I had come in from Texas. His real sister looked up myself and my sister, who had been adopted at the ages respectively of 3 and 6. I said 5 and 4 and 6, 4 and 6. And we were foster kids until we were 9 and 7. But when this happened, it was because of a new program where they gave the couple who had adopted the children a stipend for each child every month till they were 18. And I'm old enough to remember it was the Parade magazine, which was in every newspaper in the contiguous U.S. And all of my friends came running in after vacation going, "You're on the front page!" Because they came over and took pictures and everything of that. And gave a backstory. Well, reporters were really thorough in the 60s. Kind of dates me. And so they gave the family's name, front and last, almost the address, and so forth. So when my husband's sister found out, when the actual biological mother had a brain tumor, was in the hospital, going through things, she found that Parade magazine. She found a bunch of stuff like the adoption papers. She told people for 30 years she didn't know what happened to the girls. Their father had stolen them. She kept the two boys, which were 13, 15 years older. Basically, grandparents raised them too. So we were just, surprised that she was not wanting to see. Sister and I came for a couple of weeks. I met everybody. So again, they knew I had come from Chicago, Illinois. I was really born, they said in Cook County, but I was really born in DeKalb County. They changed the birth certificate. Somehow I stumbled into finding that. Closest I got, though. We was in the Catholic orphanage, and they loved those rulers. Put your palms out. So you just was smart, just quiet. They had a room with glass windows, and you would go in there and pretend to play with stuff. And the prospective adoptive parents would say, "Oh, okay, that one." The very first time I met the couple that adopted us, I ripped the doll's head off and threw it back, and they brought me a doll. I don't need you. And it became apparent that if they didn't adopt my sister at the same time, I would go comatose. I would say nothing, hear nothing, eat nothing, drink nothing. And this had been going on progressively for a few years. Got to where I wouldn't go, because my sister wouldn't go to any of these homes that where you just, you're hanging out there for however long, you're not going to be adopted. And she needed the stability. And at 9, I was reading college level. So I kind of dialed it back, and we ended up with the adoptive parents who did adopt us, of the two people that I throw the doll head back to. The very first time I was taken over there by a caseworker just to meet them and hang out for the day, I found a hammer in his work things, and I promptly destroyed anything that had glass. I was just all with. Hence my drill sergeant nicknaming me Wicked, because I was from Cook County. I did not have a record. I was a hippie, same time period, and he was Vietnam. These guys were Vietnam Airborne Rangers. Those were our drills. We were the first cycle of women to train with the men. We did not enlist to do that. We enlisted in the WAC Corps, Women's Auxiliary Corps, apparently sometime before departure, maybe in the air. They changed us from Fort McAllister, Alabama, for women's training to, you guessed it, Fort Jackson to train with the men. So they asked all of the women, "Do you want to try? Do you want to stay and try?" We're like, "Bring it. We're here now." I was the youngest and the smallest. I had gotten a waiver because I aced the ASVAB test out like 5, 6 times just because I was bored. I would take it again, see if I got it any higher. But I had Chevy because I had already gone to college. I had graduated high school twice. People just are not fast enough for me. Just get up. So, my first duty station was Fort Sam Houston after Fort Jackson, South Carolina, which was boot camp at AIT. I had trained as a nurse and secretary since I was like 5 or 6. We'll go with 5th grade, 6th grade. I had learned how to type on a manual typewriter that didn't have letters on the keys. And you had to get out of that class, you had to do it 60 words a minute without errors. And they might get 3 of us out of that. Yeah, it was not easy. I loved it when they came out, the electric one. And the electronic one, actually, I love that because, here it is again, because they actually, if you keep up with me, I smoked about 3 of those. At one point, I was up to 148 words a minute without errors, but I had 9 doctors. Xerox had not quite come out yet. So the Army was going to get it first. I'm just saying, we got late 70s, we finally got a Xerox, but before that it was carbon paper. And you're trying to put all these tests together, these residents are going to take. Boy, did they vote them on curve, I'm just saying, fellas. Since the minute I went in, and I actually taught paramedics, back in 77, I believe it was, a long time ago, back when they had to still call in. There's a show called Emergency. You probably get it on Roku or what have you. It's called Emergency, and you'll see that's exactly what we did. We trained them first aid, basic field nurse first aid. They were shown how to do an RV. They could go ahead and put an IV in, not an RV in. Just basic stuff. And suddenly I went to Europe. I was stationed over there. It's where my son was born, was Heidelberg, Germany. And he held a dual citizenship till he was 35, and he kept waiting for the Army to come get him from Germany. And he dissuaded him of that notion. I thought it was cute to watch him dance. I'm a cruel mother, I know this. I keep adjusting. This is another one of those cute little gowns just for the ladies to know, or anyone that's interested. It's a, you know how we all went around the men's shirts at certain times of our lives? It has that scoop on the side, you know, on either side. Well, that's what the dress does, but it's not up knee length or above the knee. It goes down to touching the ankles, except for those sides. So it's a shirt dress, and I like it because you can accessorize, you can do what you want to with it, and it's like, you know, everybody goes, "Where are you going? You look so nice." I'm like, "I'm just going to Walmart." People don't get that either. My parents raised us; they were Depression era. World War One, Depression era, World War Two, Dust Bowl. They went through all of that mess. I don't know how they made it. We used to have a back garden that had everything: tomatoes, yams. We had fruit trees that my parents had planted everywhere. We had pear, we had plum, we had cherry, we had. I don't think we had orange, but we had apples. We had a lot, and the back garden. So they would literally, back in those days, they still preserved and canned. So all of the family would get together. We girls liked it. We didn't like to clean up. We had to clean it. But it was a lot of fun because they were drinking. And then once they had the report, they was just talking to each other. They didn't notice their drinks. And me and my sister was constantly helping them fill them up. I probably started at 13 or 14. So you get an idea of me. I'm a hippie, dyed in the wall. There's a lot of stuff in the world going on right now. I'd love to talk about it. Anybody pop in, live chat. If you don't like me, say so. You do like me, hey, how you doing? This is my bar. I'm at home in Augusta, Georgia. So if you're interested in popping in just to talk crap about everything and anything, I love to do it all. UFOs, I've kind of been burnt out on. I've been studying them since I was like 10. Ghost, I've never gotten tired of, and I've been ghost hunting since I was 9. When I first got my first EVP on a reel-to-reel recorder with the tape. Yeah, I don't know. When I think about this, I'm like, you know, these guys don't do cursive. They can't turn a TV on remotely. What are they going to do with it manually? They're just going to talk to it. They probably will another year. But it worries me. I saw it during the pandemic that everybody could go to Walmart, but they couldn't go to graduation. They could go to Walmart, not a wedding. They could go to Walmart. You could go to Walmart and Target. In any event, I thought that was funny. I also noticed the fact that if either of those dried up, people were going to starve to death within a week. They're going to be, you know, shoot people up to take what they've got. My husband was still not retired at that time, and he drove all of this stuff, and he never even took a day off. He was so busy trying to make sure all the stores had an inventory. And he was thinking, you have to take time off when you're driving. That started about a decade ago. The guys used to just do it anyway and cheat, I think. But, and I've been married to one for, well, over 30 years. And I used to go with him. It was a lot of fun for me. Because if I said I wanted to stop in a hotel, he would stop. Which was like every night. So I hung in there pretty good for about 4 years. And then I got where I couldn't find the time to work. I was just working a lot. And so I just had to quit going. And I was raising my son as well. I'd always been a single parent, but I had married his father. He just wasn't there. Not to speak ill of the dead. He's crossed over, he's with God. He's probably giving him an earful right about now. I don't think he probably aced that test. But we're at my bar. This is one of the things, this is a signature move of mine. If I don't have my whiskey on the rocks, I'll go ahead because I'm in a hurry and I'll throw it a shot. So today, just in honor of my son being so cool on my birthday, I decided to use a German shot glass, which again will make him crazy. So cheers, guys. Oh, I love this. That is so good. It's a whiskey fireball. And what it does is it adds this burst of cinnamon at the back end. So I love this thing. Now, there's a lot. I sit here and opine about myself all day. I think you'd be bored stupid, but I could do it. Not a problem. So while my husband isn't here, I decided I'd get up here and I would talk to everybody. This has been a week. Like I said, birthday's and anniversary tomorrow, so busy, busy, busy again. I had wanted to do 2 back to back to catch up from last week, but when it's anniversary day and his birthday day, we never have 2 seconds to hardly spit. So I'm like, okay, we'll do it this way, but we're old. And instead, generally, of wanting to go, and I had my daughter-in-law shoot me. She found a great pool room bar, and I like the ones like San Antonio, the 20 tables or what have you. And just grab a pitcher of beer and just play pool. And I hadn't done that in a decade. And I was like, pretty soon I'm not going to be able to hold a key stick. Can we do this before I go? It's called what? Just help a girl out. And so, yeah, here we go again. Every time I look, these glasses, it's just going to have to stay that way. They look crooked to me. So I was hoping I would get, like I said, some people to come up and go, you know what? We hippies, we're still getting a bad name. Now, I got to agree with that. And it's one of the reasons I just thought it was so neat. Everybody's podcasting. I started 3 years ago. And then in the middle of that, I had a severe injuries. And I was bedridden for almost 2 years. And then, physical therapy and all that stuff. It's all about 2 years it took. And to this day, I still don't want to wear pants because I had a severely injured leg. There's only 2 bones in the leg, and both were broken in 3 different places, and my ankle was semi-detached. So I have more metal in me, than my car. It's probably insane. But I do. It was that severe an injury, though, so I had to take time off. And I did put up videos a couple of times to explain why I was off, that I'd been really injured and I wouldn't be on. Because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it the way I was. It was difficult to even get out of the room. I could get the 6 feet or so to the master bath, but to try to leave the house was a major drama. It was think back when your kids were little and you took all that stuff. It was worse. You could carry the baby. But it was a little more difficult to carry me around. I had a wheelchair, had all that stuff. It's just the house has small rooms and it has small doorways and it has small halls. So if I couldn't do it with crutches, I just couldn't do it. And I got news for anybody that ever gets a broken leg past, say, the age of 40. It's going to be difficult to use those. Even if you say, oh, well, I'll get used to it. I didn't. After 1, 2 steps, maybe 4, whatever it was, taking the bathroom, I was catch me. I'm not going to make it. Because the other leg was so bad. I'm trying to straighten out everything today. I get these cute little dresses for very little. And I also kind of grade them and send them back to the seller, those opinions back. And they send me stuff. They didn't until I've been going there a year or so. And I started doing that just before my accident, trying to change up what I was going to go the wrong way. Things like that just annoy the shit out of me. I don't know. But yeah, here we go again. I'm just going to leave it. Because it's mirror image and I get messed up with that. There we go. See, now I'm trying to find out where did everything go? I want to spend more time fidgeting than anything else up here. Oh, it's still the wrong way. So I wouldn't mind seeing some talk up here. I can't stand not seeing my last piece. Sorry, I guess I am giving everybody a shot. We'll leave that alone for now. Maybe I should go ahead and have another drink. Yeah, that'll be better. So, again, I mention this because they're doing stuff in Iran. Come on now. I was all for that at first. When we just did the bombing, everybody said, okay, that's how we're going to have to do. We've got them. And like 3 months later, Jesus, that's annoying as shit. I don't know why things like this bug me so much, but they do. It's a true droplet necklace, and it goes in a certain order. So if it's not that way, I'm having fits. Excuse me. Thank you for putting up with me. Hopefully, I didn't shoot everybody everything because it might they might put few in the hospital after seeing that. So nothing at this age looks good, girls. Nothing. Although people were really cute to me when I was out. I went out twice. Sorry, that feels better with it. I'm not. My son threw my birthday party on Saturday because they work at the base and they're highly placed, so they don't take time off. And so I went there Saturday. So I had one dress prep for that, and then my birthday. My husband took me out. If I'm trying to disrobe him. Yeah, here we go. Can you still dress after a shot? So I've been out twice, had new outfits on. This is not new. It's just a cute little thing. I didn't take off all my jewelry. I just threw a chunky bracelet on with it. I do have a watch. I wasn't sure till I looked, but one of the gifts was, if you can see, a lovely emerald and diamond ring that he bought me already. And his earrings, I don't know if you can see them. They're so tiny and delicate. They're little butterflies and diamonds that come down. And so, yes, I always clean up on birthdays. I'm still waiting on my anniversary just to see what the hell I got. Because he's been warned not to give it to me on my birthday. That doesn't leave nothing for an anniversary. I don't do nothing. I don't care how old I am. There's two things I'm always going to do. I'm always going to dress the best I have, makeup, accessories, everything. If I'm going out in public, I don't care if it's the fucking post office. I'm spending 3 hours on getting that ready because I just never wanted to be one of those pajama shoe wearing folks at Walmart on the wall. And I go there a couple times a week. It's just a couple miles from me. They built a new Kroger there, and I think they're getting people to pay that all out of, their first purchases. They had some earrings in there that I just seen at Walmart, and they were $3.99 at Walmart. And they were the exact same pair. And I walked in. I said, I'll go over and check it out, And it was $25 for the exact $3.99 pair. Trust me, people, investigate Kroger before you purchase stuff there. I had even looked at a T-shirt. The T-shirt was $35. I was like, this isn't a concert. What the fuck? So I'm saying, Hippies Unite. Get up down here. Excuse me. And show us that we've got somebody still here that gives a last fuck. We were not too involved, and most of us didn't want to be involved. Text a few that were, didn't know what the hell they were doing. I don't think any of them do. But they managed to make a lot of money, not their salary. Well, they make that too. But they make salaries that would make us just quit after the first year. My question is, why are they there till they die? I think Senator Ted Kennedy actually died in the sea. Same with Feinstein. I think she actually died in the sea. I mean, what keeps them going back? And they can't tell me that it's always the vote. Who in the hell votes for a generic idiot that hasn't done a fucking thing to fix it in the past 17 elections? They go, okay, she's 87. Let's put her back in. She's going to get it this time. By happy as she is, or he be the case. And I wanted to say, wait a minute, Hippies Unite. People are kind of blaming my generation. And I'm like, wait, what the, hey, whoa. The only thing I did about politics was not vote. And a lot of people give me crap about that. And I'm like, when I did vote, when I was much younger, it didn't matter. That vote didn't matter. It was always whoever bought the election. And that's exactly what they're doing. The Electoral College votes in the United States of America's president. Google it. I've got some time. Google it. Got it? Yeah, that's what it says, isn't it? Which makes me laugh a lot. I was in my hair salon. Not recently, as you can see, I've been letting my hair grow. My husband was fussing, saying he liked it longer. But I said after my birthday, I was going to go to my hairdresser, and He's been a hairdresser for almost 2 decades. And like when I was so hurt, he came to the house and did my hair for me. He's a great guy, still is. He's only about a mile from me, straight down from my place. It's a highway, and he's on the other side. So I could walk down there. I always have him dry cut my hair because my back is real bad. So I can't do that in those iron sinks or whatever they're made out of. It's like somebody's trying to soften my head. And he's really good about it. I wash him and do everything to it, and then go. Like I say, he's a mile away. And he calls me his muse, his Marilyn. He loves Marilyn Monroe, and he has all of the shop pretty much. It is all pictures anyway, are Marilyn Monroe. And he says, I'm his Marilyn. And what can I do? I give him a lot of tips. You telling somebody my age, I'm your Marilyn, I am with you. It's all about the Benjamins. I'm keeping him. And he's a great, great guy. He really is. So I promised my husband I would wait until after the birthday anniversary tomorrow, and then I was going to go get it done. At my age, it's not doing the greatest, it looks then to me. My husband keeps saying, for your age group, you've really got hardly any gray hair. And I'm like, what do you want? Yeah, so I look my age, bet your ass I think so. Every time I look in the mirror, I apply 4 different types of makeup, and that's before I get it off my face. Getting the makeup off my face at night is like, it's not easy. Oh, here we go again. We're going the wrong way again. There it is. So yeah, I thought, women, pop in, say something. We weren't the ones that were doing this. Some of our age group did. But it wasn't our age group that put all the stupidity out there, like Weekend at Bernie's, take off and give Bagra. No, that was the generic crowd. They were like, they passed generic like it was standing still to people. I stopped trying to show Biden, nobody could catch him, and he couldn't catch on. So finally, the Easter Bunny moved him around the Rose Garden until he could get where he knew he was. It's not funny. It is funny because all of us were saying that. Yeah. And of course, you've got embeds of people, politicians, actors, actresses. All these people have somehow suddenly developed a second interest besides what they already do. And as ugly as they've been and as mouthy as they've been, and they don't know squat from diddly, okay? They don't. Keep your mouth shut when you're getting an Oscar and just say bloomin' thank you, because we are the idiots that you think you need to lecture on what's going on and what we should do and what we shouldn't do and what we shouldn't be doing are the ones who pay for your salary. So you keep open your mouth and you listen. I have a list. I love Ricky Gervais. I have a list. You know, I'm not watching you puppies anymore. Speaking of which, Will Smith at the Oscars, had I been in that crowd, I would have went up and I'd have slopped the absolute mama out for him. I'm serious to God, his mama would have had a hard time finding that face. Oh, I'd have bitch slapped him like nobody's been. What the shit was that? Somebody need to teach that child a lesson. Do it the way he did to his poor friend who didn't see it coming, thought it was a joke. And still didn't have arrested. Hell, I'd arrested him myself. And it'd been civilian arrest, citizen's arrest. Lock that bitch up. Give him an Oscar after that little performance at the same time, like 10 minutes later. Hey, going on with you. No, bullshit. Go blow your nose. Nobody wants to see a 50-something-year-old man first off hit the shit out of his best friend, then go up and cry and snot balls like a baby. Buck up and don't go around fucking hitting your own friends, because some of them might hit back. He was just too damn nice about that shit. I don't care. No, I don't care who it was that slept, celebrity or not, like that. I mean, you know, no, that would never have walked past me. And he walked past everybody in that office or audience. They went and comforted Smith's ass, who was the stupid fuck that did it to begin with. Not just stupid, just an ugly, evil thing to do to somebody, let alone somebody you know. didn't mean a damn insult to your wife. And then you couldn't shut the fuck up after you did that. You had to run your stupid ass mouth some more about getting off of your wife when he didn't even say nothing about your wife after that. Fuck you, Smith. So yeah, I don't watch him anymore. Mm-mm. I like Bill Maher because he had the balls to finally get up and back up what he was saying, which wasn't true. I loved him on politically incorrect, but at the same time, he was playing too hardball without the knowledge. And basically, it seems that they don't understand that it's the Electoral College that votes in the president. You guys can sit up there and spend $100 million per person. I don't give a fuck. That's exactly why Trump said, I won the vote of the Electoral College, and I also won the people's vote. Now, the people's vote is after the electoral. Look it up. I got time. It's after. And so, do you vote in your president? No, you fucking don't. When I started voting, I was Army by then. I went in at 17, had to have parents sign for me to go in. So, but I still voted my first time. You had a little curtain. They still have. You had a little curtain that you pull behind you, and you vote. You didn't have 15 signs and a hat and, a shirt, some signs on you, the front lawn, some bumper stickers on you. You didn't have that shit. There was a secret ballot. Nobody was supposed to know what you were doing. Nobody should know. That's where we get the stupidity of right, left, fuck off. That's exactly what I have to say about politics. And I would love to hear back from my hippie crowd, because I'd like to think that I'm not this crazy old lady out here by herself, which actually from my views, I might be. I don't care. This is a great medium. I don't know how long I'm going to be there, but in 2243, they might go, hey, that's my great-great-great-great-grandma. Let's pull her up. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? It's not just the stars who can leave these things. This is what I'm saying. This is better than, it's on a par with the invention of air conditioning. Now, I've been through Europe a lot. All over Europe. And it's not that hard. It's like the United States is going from Alabama to Texas, and you left, France and went to England. Not the same. You have to catch a ferry there at Dover or whatever, but still. I knew they messed up when I came back and they had switched everything to the euro currency, and I saw that and I was like, oh, that's never going to turn out well. Some people are trying to leave the EU. I think Britain managed it. But when I heard what they were doing, I was like, that dog don't hunt, man. He was, that's going to stop. And so it's been a mess. And I've seen this president. This is the second time he did a damn good job the first time. He had to deal with an epidemic, a pandemic. Well, at the same time, dealing with this stupid asses impeaching him. Now, when I was coming up, my parents taught me respect. This is, mind you, I'm an Army veteran, but this is your commander-in-chief. And the world knows that your commander-in-chief, not for just one service, but for all of the service. And now we have a space service. Who the hell is wrong with what? The hell is wrong with what? How do you go out there and dish your own president to the world? How do you do that? Why? The ones I've heard doing it, they are so fucking lost. They really, really could not find their asses with a map. I mean, sandwich side picnic, every blooming one of them I've heard speak. And I've been surprised at the ones I've heard speak. Again, I mean, I don't watch them now. I'll catch a clip occasionally. Now, what the so-called news is, he's right, it's fake news. Been that way long before they got him in. I was saying that shit 2006. Yeah, like, yelling, figure that shit out. Yeah, come on. Not everybody in God is crazy. And yes, God has to be crazy to put up with it. Any human being, as long as we've gone without the flood. I mean, I'm saying it's been 6,000 years. I'm figuring he's getting pissed about now. You don't need to learn how to swim. You need asbestos. I love the ones though that are making shelters. They're so sweet. Like somebody with a magnet or a metal finder could fucking find them. Oh, it's 6 feet down. Okay. So I'm a little reserved about some of that stuff. When I was a kid in high school in Chicago, I went to Thornton Township High School. Thornton Township has been in the news recently about the mayor that they somehow voted for. And she's been stealing millions from him until Thornton Township went broke. That's where I went to high school, grade school. I mean, that's where I spent my young adult years. Then I moved to Christopher when my parents retired, and I went to Carbondale to go to university there. Because I'd already graduated high school twice. I was bored because I couldn't go until I was 17, so many months. So I was enlisted, but then the guy called me back. Because I was ready to go. I said I'd pass 5 or 6 times on ASVAB just for fun. And just see if the scores change. I get this one high, that one high. I was like, okay, I'm good. So yeah, that was fun, and all over Europe was fun. And I came back, and I was shocked. Now, when I was over in Europe, and it was a long time ago, I grabbed a plane out of Rome. I had been sightseeing there with some friends of mine, and we grabbed a plane out of Rome and went to Heidelberg and landed there. It was a quicker hop. And right after that, Rome airport was hit, and everybody inside was killed. And it could have been more than 3 to 4 minutes after we had all exited to get to the plane. And it just, it devastated me. I had talked to people there it was mainly military people. And that'll break you in the military. They don't even get a chance to fight. It's one thing, if you die serving your country, well, you had a chance to fight. And that was what you chose to do as a volunteer military. Although I understand now that there's a selective service kind of thing involved, which my son escaped because of his age, but my grandson does not, even though he is a veteran. He's one of the first I'll probably call back. You don't want to hear that, but it's the truth, and I worry about it too. Same with, there shouldn't be, I don't think, any sex difference. If you have the men on that, the women should be on that, because women are trained as soldiers, trained with the men, they are trained as soldiers. They're not trained to be women who can cook, they can nurse, they can run a typewriter behind the scenes, which is what the wet corps was. And they got rid of that, the WAMs, all of them, and instead put them in with regular service person and trained them. And I was so happy because all the women made it through boot camp. I broke my knee on the last day of boot camp, taking out machine gun nest. My buddy went out and stood up when she wasn't supposed to, and had a shot her, which would have, of course, been, that's a fail. So I hit down, I didn't run down, but I just slammed myself down because she had come up. Otherwise, she died by friendly fucking fire. And so I hit down. When I did, there was a huge rock there, and I broke my kneecap badly. Yeah. And still, because dumbass had got up twice, I still managed to get in there and get the machine gun nest out. Luckily, I was still low crawling for most of that and in shock about the injury. Nobody knew. But the CO and XO were there, my commanding officer, my lieutenant. They were there, and they heard the crack. And they were talking together with their heads down, saying, basically, she's hurt. She's in shock. She don't know it yet. But let her finish. She can finish. It was the last test. And I managed to do it. And I tried to stand up. That was my first mistake. And I'm using my rifle, my weapon as a crutch. And I finally got to my feet, but I was only 1 foot. And I couldn't bend the knee. It was just excruciating, just wow. And I just fell flat face up in the mud. had gotten clean in 6 days. I don't know why that mattered, but it did at the time. And the CO and XO came over, and they were running. And I should have known by the look of concern on their faces that I wasn't going to fail. Something else was up. And I knew I'd hurt myself. I just didn't know that it was so bad. And these were the first women. We were the first company of women. And I was the first one to be hurt. Now, I was also the youngest and the shortest. And wait, I was just the little one. I think they looked at me as their daughters because they got there. And my ex had just picked me up. And you're not supposed to do things like that. And I managed to say that, although the pain was just in waves. And I said, sir, you've got to put me down. This is not legal. And he said, it is legal. wounded man down. I was like, oh, okay. And then I think for the pain, they managed to get me to a hospital, and he's carrying me at this point. He's the only one that's driving. He's got there with me. He gets me out. We had to take one of the big 2-ton things because my leg had to stay straight up with it. So he carefully, he opens the door and holds onto that leg, trying to stabilize it. They had stabilized it a lot at the first aid station. And I had also cut my thumb nearly off. So I had bled out almost. I didn't know I had bled that much, but they estimated I had to have 2 pints, put back in. And so he was screaming when he came in because it was like ghost time. This is 2 or 3 in the morning. And he's screaming, man down right now. Where the hell are you, man? He's screaming. And they suddenly, the whole place was full and there's a gurney and they get me on it. I whisk off and I'm thinking, how the hell do I know where I'm at? I don't even know how to get out of here. But I didn't realize I was already back at the base at the hospital at the base. That's how much pain I was in. And before I knew it, they had put me under because they were setting the leg and trying to get me enough blood back in. And, so you're out there weak, you don't eat, drink, you don't do much. So I was severely dehydrated with all these things. I was only 5'2", weighed 98 pounds, so I didn't have a lot to work with. So I finally woke up about 4 hours later, and they were done, and it was, semi-cast and all that. And I thought, well, how am I going to get out of here? And they picked me up, and they put me in a wheelchair, and they said, your CO is still here. He's been waiting and pounding the floors. We think he's actually got a whole area there for himself. So it was like, I think about 6 in the morning back then. And he took the wheelchair and took it out. And by then, the XO had brought him his car. And the XO was there. So they both picked me up on either side, in the lift. So that they're not, it's illegal otherwise. You have to do the wounded warrior. And so they got me into the back seat. And together they took me back to the other side of the base. I was on the base to where I was billeted at. And I'm steady telling them, you fail me, I will haunt you forever. Fucking A right, man. Don't you dare fail me. I broke this, get the enemy. You can't fail me. I'm on all kinds of drugs. I didn't even get out of anesthesia that long. And they're giggling at that point, making me laugh harder. They're like, you didn't fail. You passed. You're good. And at that point, I'm thinking, I'm not going on the cripple truck. So the only thing I can tell you as far as that being the first one, check out Goldie Hawn's Private Benjamin. You get a pretty good idea. Now we have fighter pilots that are women. I love those girls to death. I mean, respect. Bring that shit off the ferry and come back and set that sucker down. I love those girls. I love those girls. I think I heard that the first Golden Knight female had been already picked, so I was glad to hear that too. But we knocked that door down. It's almost like the Tuskegee Airmen in some cases. When we were Bravo and Charlie 3rd at Fort Jackson. Look it up. Where even the Stars and Stripes. I had been tear gassed at my high school. That's what they would do. They had fire doors, and they would lock them down. Whoever was starting the riots or wherever the riots were, they would just lock you in, and they would start pumping tear gas in that bitch. So by the time I got in the Army, the real Army, they were using, of course, the tear gas. And it didn't bother me at all. They said, you got to take your mask off, recite your SSN, you come out. And I came out, and of course, I didn't realize Stars and Stripes was there. I didn't know, nobody noticed that. But I was laughing, because I thought, you guys, because there were people already ahead of me, and they're puking, and I came out laughing, going, really? Just that little bit? You got just that little bit? All you had to do was recite your SSN and leave. It wasn't, we were in there 30 minutes looking for a window that would open. This took like 40 seconds, and you were out. And so, and then I saw that my CO and my XO, the wind had shifted, and it was throwing all the tear gas at them, and they're out there getting sick. And so I'm on the front of the Stars and Stripes, because it was a big thing to have the women in and stuff. Oh, that's my husband. And so, that was always fun. I never got to live down that. I don't even know if they still have a copy. If they're like regular newspapers, they should still have one in the thing. It's orange juice. It's orange juice. He took a drink of the orange juice and they went, like I had alcohol in there. Yeah, not the, yeah, sandwich I have a picnic. We go to, yeah. It got warm in here to me. It must be my hooch. My husband can see the stuff. I just asked him to get me my next bucket because my, as he calls it, my big buddy is almost out. But yeah, he's finally in. I'm sure he's hot and tired. I try not to put the door in because he doesn't want to be on. But then when he finds out that I'm on, he does those antics in the background, like he's Charlie Chaplin or something. Yeah, I haven't caught up with my live chat. Here we go. Um, yeah, I don't know what is going on today. Uh, let's see. They took me off for a second there. Uh, here we are. Uh, it's there. It's there if you want to jump in, be my guest. I've got it up this time. But I'm about done. I just said I was like, I do these for an hour if I do it all. So if there's any questions or what have you, throw them in the comments. Right now you still have like a little over 10 minutes for live chat if you want to pop in. Again, we're here in Augusta, Georgia. It's freaking hot. Post a storm, but it's still freaking hot. It being my, yesterday being my birthday and tomorrow being my husband's, we're 4 years apart, so I'm not how sure that worked. Yeah, now I'm a little confused. No, it's not today. His is Friday, and that's the anniversary day, so I'm just one day ahead. Maybe I'll throw up another one before that hits. I don't really get anything done during these holidays. I just kind of look around and go, oh, it'll wait till next week, because I'm like, lucky retired. And I haven't seen too many reactions today. I had hoped to see a few more reactions, again, resulting back into one they mislabel us as baby boomers. Like, no, I'm a dyed-in-the-wool hippie. I was born on the cusp of the two. I give them that. Yes, I was. I was born on the cusp, pretty much. And having World War II parents as well, kind of, I can see where the, come say, come stop. But it's not that way with me. No, I'm a hippie. I don't care who knows it. If you call me baby boomer, I won't hit you in the face, but I will correct you most adamantly. I'll be going, what the hell are you looking at? No, no, I ain't the baby boomer here. You might be the baby. I'm not the baby boomer. So that always annoys me. People, I think, do that because they know it annoys me. My glasses, I don't usually wear them this often. As you can see, I'm fiddling. So instead of fiddling with everything I wear, I'm just trying to work it off the other way. And I still have a shot. My husband had to buy me a big boy bottle, as he calls it, because they were out of the airplane bottles, and they're in a bucket. And he'd buy me 25 of those in a bucket. And I like the little airplane ones because they're just a shot. But I ended up having almost 2 shots still in my big bottle. So I'm going to finish those off and see how well we do. You're going to come tell me if you agree. Even if you're baby boomers, okay? Even if you accept your baby boomers. There's just not that many that you're going to find. Oh, see, I knew they were going to keep bugging me, didn't I? Yeah, they bug me. In any event, you're going to wear glasses too. Trust me. I was 25 once, 35 once, 45 once, and now I'm looking at 50 once. None of you bought that, did you? I just thought I'd throw it out there to see who bid. So those of you who want to be baby boomers, that's great too. I'm not trying to blame it on any specific segment of this. I'm just trying to say that as a hippie, I was concerned about the name more, so I trained so I could go and be in back support groups, kind of like MASH. We had OD green and boots and brass that they checked continuously. You got around, you couldn't do anything but run. So if you had to go to the bathroom, you ran. If you had to go get your uniforms, you ran, whatever it was. You didn't walk anywhere, which was pretty cool. It's not a lot. Oh, my ring ain't right. My husband bought me this. It's an emerald and diamond. That was one of my birthday presents. I don't think you see the earrings. He bought me these as well. They're little butterflies with diamonds interspersed. They're really fragile, so I'm a little worried about wearing them in public, but they really are just adorable. So that's a couple that I got. Being who I am, a couple is not going to cut it. It's just not. Already he's apologizing, going, I'm going tomorrow, and I'm thinking, so you're going to go on our anniversary to look for more stuff. Okay, I'll kill you when you get back. He's been married to me for 30 plus years. Actually, I think we're blooming knocking on the door of 40 years. We met each other at a fairly young age. He's always driven a rig or instructed them to drive a rig or a mechanic or in between. He's an ace mechanic as well, unless it's my car. I tell him my car's making a noise. He'll go sit in and go, no, it ain't. It sounds like when you used to put those things on your bike, for those of us who ever had a bike, put the cars on there to make that noise. I'm like, what's that noise? I don't hear a noise. What's that noise? I don't hear a damn noise. So yeah, don't marry a mechanic. You would think they could do better. Well, I can't give him too much grief because he always gives me cars with the pink slip. He bought me 2 new cars, and they were both with severe accidents. And after that, I was like, I don't want a new car anymore. I love the pink slip. That's how he had started to get back to driving. I hadn't driven since I was in the Army in Europe, in particular. So I drove on the Autobahn there, so I had to have a license. The boy driving on the Autobahn back them days, baby. If you weren't doing 200 miles an hour, 4 cars would run through you. I mean, they were serious about these things. I had a kick out of those thoughts. Europe was fun. Oh, it's trying to go in and out of me again. I might have known it's the end of my show. Trying to set the bar on fire. Okay, don't work with me. Okay. Have we got you? Have we got you? All right. I've still got 7 to 8 minutes. We don't want to lose you here. Sorry about that. It's a terrible thing on women's hair, by the way. These little things. I usually have a headband because it'll hold it forward. But apparently now I need a new set. My husband stopped by me like 3 sets just to broadcast. So did my son. They both got me the starter kits, and that's how I got started. So if you're out there, you hear me, you like what's going on, you don't like what's going on, women say so, it's cool enough for me. Jump in, let's talk about how the world has gone absolutely stupid. And no, we cannot be told we're responsible for that. We didn't do that. Y'all did. We didn't do it. We were too busy working jobs, 2, one paid for college and the other to pay for the babysitter and groceries if you were lucky, and the other one's doing that to pay the bills. And then you could almost make it. Almost. We also had a great time. I got to admit, the 80s and the 90s, totally rock. You guys are still playing our rock and roll. AC/DC, I mean, all y'all still playing that for your cartoons. Well, not cartoons, but for your commercials and so forth, like Iron Man. He's totally got that as a soundtrack. So that music has not gone away. We do like some of the new stuff. I do love the Shinies and the Korean boys that are singing now. They're amazing and make dance like I would love to dance again. I so would love to do it. And what have they got, 8 bags? Holy Moses. So that's become my new addiction, is watching these boys dance. They do say something about old ladies. It does. It does give us away to the point where, like, still, I mentioned you boys out there are going, huh? Isn't she what? She's how old? Yeah, we've aged, but we didn't die yet, boys. And y'all are awesome. Y'all really are awesome. I do love several Chinese actors. Zheng Li Hao, uh, Liu Yuning. I love these guys. These are costume dramas in Chinese. In China, they do these, and they're called costume dramas. And they're all great. I love the funny ones. And can you tell there's not been any American TV lately? I'm up there. I have to watch what they're saying because you can't you can't translate that, or I can't. So I'm watching what they're doing, and I'm watching what they're saying. So you got to let one go. But I do love them. I do love them. And as you can hear, I've gotten close to watching a couple and wanting to pull all theirs. And then there's some others that I have pulled. Shaoxian, Wayne Yubo. These guys can. Wayne Yubo's he's a car driver. He's a race car driver, as well as singing, dance. What I think the dance actor, model. Almost all of them. Zheng Li, he's also a model, and I think he's doing. I forget which land he's taking care of, but he got to go to New York recently. So that was, and he was speaking English, and I just love that. It'd be easy if they do that on his movies, or just English dub them for me, than me having to do captions. I love the new thing called Truth that they've all been getting into. This is season 4. Del Raba's in it, Shane McGee, Liu Yuning, are the core that have been there. And in season 4, I see that Del Raba has left, and they're getting a guest who's there temporary. And I was sorry to see Del Raba go. I kind of believe, like everybody else did, that Shane Lee and Del Raba had a thing going. Del Raba is her first name. Maybe not. I'm not sure, but I hope they were happy, whatever it was. I hope it didn't break as anything with friends, because I believe that's what happened, because suddenly she's not there anymore. I don't know. I'm just a fly on the wall, and I'm just saying y'all should check that out. If you're tired of American programming, check out some of them. I'm about to dash because I got all kinds of stuff to do to get ready for this weekend. I was hoping, anyway. Since his birthday and our anniversary, there's a story behind that. What do you want for your birthday? Marry me. What do you want for your birthday this year? Marry me. What do you want for your birthday this year? Marry me. What do you want for this year? After the 5th year, I said, okay. Should have stuck with it first, Nancy. I've been saving up. I was going to buy him a boat, right? Because he wanted to go fishing, didn't have a fishing boat. So I'd saved several $1,000s pretty much to pay for the wedding. And after I went and paid, and he did too, we all paid all the stuff away and made sure it was ready, and then picked the day because it was paid for. And he was like, "You were going to buy me a what?" He wasn't as happy with that answer. He found out about the boat. I encouraged that, ladies. And yeah, that's my last one. I got to go pretend I'm sober. Of course, I am, sort of, but I doubt I stay that way. Since it's an anniversary and everything else tomorrow, it's going to be an interesting day. I'm wondering what I get as a gift. Does he have a hotel room? Because I'm pissed. I can't fuck. I mean, in some cases, I wear 3 rings on one finger, and he's got me 3 or 4 different wedding bands. Well, wedding rings, because we've been together so long. He's like, I can't figure it. Here, have a new one. Man, you too. If you like what you see, if you don't like what you see, let me know. It's kind of dark on this side, and I need to go back to my first channel, I think. Again, you're at my house. This is my bar, my rules. I'm in Augusta, Georgia. Drop in, say hi, tell me what you didn't like, tell me what you want to talk about. We would just talk. Tell me you need a Zoom call. Tell me you're going to be in Augusta. I'm happy to bring you. In the meantime, guys, toodle pip.